Mel Brooks, the actor and filmmaker, has been a dominant force in the entertainment industry for over 7 decades. Born Melvin Kaminsky on June 28, 1926, in Brooklyn, New York, he began his career in the late 1940s as a comic and a writer for television. Brooks first gained recognition as a writer for the classic comedy series Your Show of Shows, where he worked alongside Sid Caesar, Carl Reiner, and Imogen Pocah. In the early 1960s, he created and starred in the groundbreaking television show Get Smart, which earned him several Emmy Awards. However, it was in the world of film where Brooks truly left his mark. His directorial debut, The Producers, won him an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. The film, which starred Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, is considered a classic of American comedy and has been adapted into a successful Broadway musical. Throughout his career, Brooks has directed, wrote, and starred in numerous films that have become beloved by audiences around the world. These include Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, High Anxiety, and History of the World Part I. His films are known for their irreverent humor, parodies of classic Hollywood genres, and memorable musical numbers. Brooks' work has not only entertained millions, but has also had a significant impact on the entertainment industry. He has been recognized with numerous awards, including 4 Emmy Awards, 3 Grammy Awards, and an Academy Award. In 2009, he received the National Medal of Arts from President Barack Obama. Despite his many accolades, Brooks remains humble and dedicated to his craft. At 96 years old, he continues to work in the industry, inspiring new generations of filmmakers and entertainers. His contributions to the world of comedy are immeasurable, and his legacy will undoubtedly endure for generations to come. Mel Brooks is a beloved actor, director, and comedian, known for his work on films like Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. His humor is often irreverent and over the top, but it's always funny. Do you have a favorite Mel Brooks moment? Maybe you've been inspired by his career to pursue your own dreams in entertainment. We'd love to hear your stories about how this classic star has impacted your life. Or perhaps you have a cherished memory of watching one of his films or shows with family or friends. Whatever your experience, we want to hear from you. Share your memories and stories in the comments below. There are so many fascinating aspects of Mel Brooks' career to explore. From his early days in show business to his most recent projects, there's no shortage of funny, shocking, and even sad facts to share. So keep watching to learn more about this iconic figure in entertainment. Born Melvin Kaminsky in 1926, the actor grew up in a Jewish family in Brooklyn, New York. His parents, Kate and Max Kaminsky, were immigrants from Eastern Europe. The family lived in a tenement building, and money was often tight. Despite these challenges, Mel's parents encouraged his love for comedy and the arts. As a child, Mel was heavily influenced by the classic comedians of the time, such as the Marx Brothers and Charlie Chaplin. He would often imitate their routines for his family and friends. After serving in the Army during World War II, Mel returned to New York and began performing stand-up comedy in the Catskills. It was during this time that Mel met Sid Caesar, who became a mentor to him. Caesar was a pioneer in early television comedy and gave Mel his big break by hiring him as a writer for his show, Your Show of Shows. Mel worked alongside other comedy legends such as Woody Allen and Neil Simon and honed his skills as a writer and performer. Mel's experiences with Caesar and Your Show of Shows had a profound impact on his career. He learned the importance of collaboration and the value of creating comedy that appeals to a wide audience. These lessons would serve him well in his future endeavors, including his work as a filmmaker. In the late 1960s, Mel transitioned from television to film and directed his first feature, The Producers. The film was a critical and commercial success and earned Mel an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. He went on to direct other classic comedies, such as Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, which showcased his unique blend of humor and satire. Throughout his career, Mel has continued to be influenced by the comedians and filmmakers who came before him. He has often cited the Marx Brothers, Charlie Chaplin, and the classic comedies of the 1930s and 1940s as inspirations for his work. Mel's ability to draw from these influences and create his own unique brand of comedy has made him a beloved figure in the world of entertainment. Mel Brooks was born Melvin Kaminsky on June 28, 1926, in Brooklyn, New York. The youngest of 4 children in a Jewish immigrant family, he experienced a challenging childhood. His father died when he was 2, leaving his mother to raise the family during the Great Depression. Despite these hardships, Brooks found solace in humor. He began performing comedy routines in high school and served in the Army during World War II, where he continued to hone his comedic skills. After the war, he worked as a drummer and pianist before turning to comedy writing and performing. Brooks's big break came in the early 1950s when he began writing for Sid Caesar's Your Show of Shows, where he met and befriended fellow writers Neil Simon and Carl Reiner. Together, they formed a comedy team that would shape American humor for decades to come. In the late 1960s, Brooks turned to filmmaking, directing, and starring in classic comedies such as The Producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein. His unique blend of satire, parody, and slapstick has earned him critical acclaim and a devoted fan base. Throughout his career, Brooks has drawn on his personal experiences and cultural influences to create memorable characters and stories. His Jewish upbringing, experiences in the Army, and love of classic Hollywood films have all left their mark on his work. Today, Mel Brooks is widely regarded as a comedy legend with a career that spans over 7 decades. His contributions to American humor continue to resonate with audiences of all ages. Even as a young boy, Mel Brooks showed a knack for comedy. Growing up in Brooklyn during the Great Depression, he found solace in making his family and friends laugh. He once said, "If I could make my mother laugh, I could make God laugh." Brooks' passion for comedy and entertainment led him to join the Army during World War II. There, he formed a comedy team and performed for his fellow soldiers. After the war, he worked as a comic and a musician before finding his true calling in show business. In the early 1950s, Brooks began writing for television shows, including Your Show of Shows and The Sid Caesar Show. He worked alongside other comedy legends such as Carl Reiner and Neil Simon. Together, they honed their craft and pushed the boundaries of television comedy. But it was in the late 1960s when Mel Brooks truly made his mark on Hollywood. He wrote, directed, and starred in the classic film The Producers, which won him an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. The film's success launched Brooks' career as a filmmaker and cemented his place in comedy history. Over the years, Mel Brooks has continued to create hilarious and groundbreaking work, from Blazing Saddles to Young Frankenstein to Spaceballs. His passion for comedy and his dedication to his craft have inspired generations of comedians and filmmakers. Despite his many accolades and successes, Mel Brooks remains humble and grateful for the opportunity to make people laugh. As he once said, "I wake up every morning and I pinch myself. I can't believe I get to do this for a living." In the 1968 film The Producers, the actor Mel Brooks showcased his singing talents as Hitler in Springtime for Hitler. His surprise was evident when he won the Oscar for Best Screenplay, leaving him unprepared to give a speech. Moving on to Young Frankenstein, released in 1974, Brooks portrayed a werewolf. He requested costume designer Dorothy Jenkins to expose as much cleavage as possible on Madeline Kahn, ironically finding that they could get away with more in 1931 due to the Motion Picture Production Code not yet being enforced. Lastly, in Spaceballs, Brooks took on the role of President Scrooge. During the DVD audio commentary, he mentioned the challenges of playing Yogurt, with gold-colored makeup causing a rash on his face and neck and constant knee pain from walking on his knees with knee pads. Despite the difficulties, Brooks expressed his enjoyment playing the character. Mel Brooks, a comedic genius, faced numerous obstacles early in his career. Born Melvin Kaminsky in 1926, he grew up in Brooklyn during the Great Depression. Financial struggles were a constant part of his life, but they didn't dampen his spirit or comedic talent. As a young man, he found work as a comic and drummer in the Catskills, where he honed his craft. However, breaking into the entertainment industry proved challenging. Skepticism ran high, with many viewing his humor as too broad or slapstick for mainstream audiences. Despite the naysayers, Brooks remained undeterred. He turned to writing, eventually landing gigs on shows like Your Show of Shows and The Sid Caesar Show. Still, he faced resistance from industry executives who didn't understand his unique comedic voice. Brooks' resilience was unwavering. He turned to producing and directing, creating classic films like The Producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein. Each film challenged conventions, poking fun at societal norms and pushing boundaries. The actor's creative solutions to industry obstacles were numerous. He often drew from his personal experiences, using humor as a coping mechanism and a way to connect with audiences. His ability to find humor in even the most mundane situations set him apart from his peers. Today, Mel Brooks is remembered as a trailblazer, a comedy legend who overcame numerous obstacles to bring his unique vision to life. His work continues to resonate with audiences, a testament to his enduring talent and resilience. In the film Blazing Saddles, the actor Mel Brooks, who plays Governor Lepetomaine, faced resistance from a studio executive at Warner Brothers. The executive found certain scenes offensive and demanded cuts. However, Brooks, who had final cut written into his contract, agreed to the changes only to be polite, with no intention of altering the film. Moving on to Young Frankenstein, the actor's role as the werewolf serves a specific purpose. The only death in the movie occurs when the monster kills the guard tormenting him in jail, a scene included by Brooks to heighten the emotional impact and intensity of the final act. Finally, in Robin Hood Men in Tights, the actor reprises his role as a religious figure, this time as Rabbi Tuckman. Dick Van Patten plays the abbot, but interestingly, he previously portrayed Friar Tuck in Mel Brooks' first Robin Hood parody, When Things Were Rotten. Throughout his career, the actor has demonstrated a knack for pushing boundaries and taking on diverse roles, leaving an indelible mark on the world of comedy. His work continues to resonate with audiences, transcending generations and remaining a captivating part of film history. In 1968, Mel Brooks directed The Producers, a groundbreaking film that showcased his unique brand of humor. The film revolved around a theatrical producer and an accountant who schemed to get rich by overselling interests in a Broadway flop. The Producers received critical acclaim, earning Brooks an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. Zero Mostel, who played the lead role, praised Brooks for his innovative ideas and daring comedy. Brooks continued to push boundaries with his next film, Blazing Saddles, a satirical western that tackled racial prejudice and broke the fourth wall. The film was a box office success and is now considered a classic. Critics lauded Brooks for his courage to address social issues through comedy. Gene Wilder, who starred in the film, admired Brooks' ability to create humor out of uncomfortable topics. In 1987, Brooks directed Spaceballs, a parody of the Star Wars franchise. Although it received mixed reviews, Spaceballs has since gained a cult following. The film demonstrated Brooks' ability to adapt to changing popular culture and maintain his comedic style. Throughout his career, Mel Brooks has created work that resonates with audiences and challenges conventions. His contributions to comedy have left an indelible mark on the film industry and continue to inspire new generations of filmmakers. In Mel Brooks' film Silent Movie, he takes on the role of Melfun, which turned out to be the final film for comedian Harry Ritz. Brooks had great admiration for Ritz, once calling him the funniest man on earth and citing him as one of his strongest comedic influences. Moving on to Robin Hood Men in Tights, Brooks plays Rabbi Tuckman. In this film, the mole on Prince John's face keeps changing position, a joke that mocks the mole on Alan Rickman's face in Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. This is also a nod to the famous Igor's hump gag from Brooks' Young Frankenstein. Lastly, in The Producers, Brooks plays the singer in Springtime for Hitler, despite always having Zero Mostel in mind for the role of Bialystok. Their egos clashed on set, making it difficult for them to get along. Unfortunately, they never worked together again. Throughout his career, Brooks has shown his versatility and comedic genius in various roles, leaving a lasting impact on the world of cinema. Mel Brooks, a legendary figure in the world of comedy, is known for his unique artistic vision and process. His work often blends humor with social commentary, creating a distinctive style that has captivated audiences for decades. Brooks' personal experiences and worldview are vividly reflected in his work. Growing up during the Great Depression and serving in the Army during World War II, he developed a sharp sense of humor that he used to cope with the hardships of life. This sense of humor is evident in his films, which often tackle serious issues with wit and irony. One of the key elements of Brooks' artistic process is his ability to poke fun at societal norms and expectations. He is not afraid to challenge authority and question the status quo, often using satire and parody to make his point. For example, in his classic film Blazing Saddles, he tackles racism and bigotry head-on, using humor to expose the absurdity of these attitudes. Another hallmark of Brooks' work is his use of music and dance. He often incorporates these elements into his films and stage shows, using them to add energy and excitement to the proceedings. This is evident in shows like The Producers and Young Frankenstein, which feature memorable musical numbers that have become iconic in their own right. Despite his success, Brooks remains humble and grounded. He once said, "I'm just a guy from Brooklyn who fell into a pot of gold." But for his many fans, it is clear that there is much more to Mel Brooks than just luck. His artistic vision, unique style, and ability to connect with audiences have made him a true legend in the world of comedy. In the film Robin Hood Men in Tights, Mel Brooks took on the role of Rabbi Tuckman. Interestingly, this wasn't his first foray into Robin Hood parody. He had previously attempted it in the short-lived television series When Things Were Rotten in 1975. Notably, Dick Van Patten, who plays the abbot in Men in Tights, portrayed Friar Tuck in the series. In Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks played the werewolf. After the first set of dailies, both Brooks and Gene Wilder expressed their concerns to the director of photography, Gerald Hirschfeld. Brooks felt the film should satirize the look of the old Universal horror films. However, Wilder defended Hirschfeld, explaining that they had never asked him to replicate that style. Following these discussions, Hirschfeld made some changes, leading to more successful dailies. For High Anxiety, Mel Brooks hired the actual bird handler from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. This classic film, like many of Brooks' works, demonstrates his attention to detail and commitment to the art of filmmaking. By incorporating elements from iconic films and genres, he created a unique and enduring legacy in the world of comedy. Mel Brooks, a legendary figure in the world of comedy, has significantly influenced the film and television industry. His unique brand of humor, often satirical and filled with parody, has left a lasting impact on both his contemporaries and future generations. Brooks' work is known for its ability to challenge societal norms and expectations. According to film critic Leonard Maltin, Mel Brooks has always been a master at pushing buttons, making us laugh at ourselves and our cultural assumptions. This is evident in films like Blazing Saddles, which tackles racial stereotypes, and Young Frankenstein, a hilarious take on classic horror films. His innovative approach to storytelling has also influenced trends in the industry. As filmmaker Judd Apatow stated, Mel Brooks showed us that comedy can be smart, irreverent, and still wildly entertaining. He's a true original. This originality is seen in Brooks' use of unexpected humor, like the comedic use of flatulence in Blazing Saddles, which was considered groundbreaking at the time. Moreover, Brooks' techniques have been adopted by many modern comedians and filmmakers. His signature style of rapid-fire jokes, visual gags, and meta-humor can be seen in various contemporary works. For instance, the popular TV show Family Guy often pays homage to Brooks' style, incorporating similar elements of parody and satire. The actor's influence extends beyond the screen. His work on stage, such as the musical The Producers, has also been a game changer. Winning a record-breaking 12 Tony Awards, it's a testament to Brooks' ability to create comedy that resonates with diverse audiences. In conclusion, Mel Brooks' contribution to the industry is immeasurable. His innovative storytelling, unique humor, and willingness to challenge societal norms have left a lasting impact on the film and television industry, inspiring countless comedians and filmmakers along the way. In the film The 12 Chairs, Mel Brooks took on the role of Ticken. Initially, Brooks had planned for Alastair Sim, Peter Sellers, and Albert Finney to star in the film. Sellers had previously helped to release Brooks' film The Producers. Moving on to Spaceballs, Brooks played the character of President Scrooge, a spoof of the Emperor from Star Wars. The transporter beam malfunction in the film is a nod to Star Trek. Interestingly, the previous year, Brooks produced The Fly, which also involved a malfunction of a similar device. In Robin Hood Men in Tights, Brooks directed Clive Reville, who voiced the Emperor in The Empire Strikes Back, and Patrick Stewart, whose role on Star Trek involved frequent use of the transporter beam. Finally, in Robin Hood Men in Tights, Brooks portrayed Rabbi Tuckman. The camera breaking the window gag in this film is a nod to Psycho, where the camera seemingly passes through a closed window in the opening scene. Brooks had previously used a similar gag in his Hitchcock parody, High Anxiety. Mel Brooks is known for his comedic work, but his life extends beyond the silver screen. He was born Melvin Kaminsky in 1926 in Brooklyn, New York. As a child, he was heavily influenced by the vaudeville scene, which would later inspire his comedic style. Brooks' personal values and interests often intertwine with his professional life. His Jewish heritage is a significant aspect of his identity and has been the subject of much of his work. For instance, his film The Producers features a musical within the film called Springtime for Hitler, a satirical take on Adolf Hitler. In addition to his professional accomplishments, Brooks is also passionate about giving back to the community. He and his late wife, Anne Bancroft, were active supporters of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Brooks has also been involved with the American Cancer Society, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, and the Boy Scouts of America. Brooks' love for comedy and entertainment extends beyond his own work. He is a frequent guest on late-night talk shows and has even appeared on Saturday Night Live multiple times. He has a deep appreciation for the art form and enjoys sharing his knowledge and experience with others. In conclusion, Mel Brooks is not only a talented actor and filmmaker, but also a generous philanthropist. His personal values and interests have significantly influenced his work, and he continues to be a vital force in the entertainment industry. In the film Robin Hood Men in Tights, the actor Mel Brooks takes on the role of Rabbi Tuckman, officiating a wedding. This is not his first time working with Dick Van Patten in a wedding scene. In Spaceballs, he played King Roland, father of the bride. The actor is also known for his role as a werewolf in Young Frankenstein. The famous Walk This Way gag, performed by Marty Feldman, was almost cut from the film. However, its popularity led to its inclusion in future Mel Brooks films such as History of the World Part I and Robin Hood Men in Tights. One of the most flattering moments in the actor's career was when Hedy Lamarr sued the producers of Blazing Saddles over the similar-sounding name of a lead character. The actor believes it is unusual for a big-name actor to pay attention to such details, making it a significant moment in his career. The lawsuit was settled out of court. Mel Brooks, a legendary figure in the world of comedy, has left an indelible mark on the film industry. With classic films like Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, he has consistently pushed boundaries and brought laughter to audiences for decades. His unique blend of parody, satire, and slapstick has inspired countless other comedians and filmmakers. When it comes to his future contributions, Brooks has always been open to new projects and opportunities. Even in his 90s, he continues to work on various ventures, including Broadway shows and animated series. His unwavering passion for comedy and storytelling is truly inspiring. For aspiring professionals in the field, Brooks offers some valuable advice. He encourages them to be fearless and take risks, saying, if you're going to do a comedy, you have to take chances. You have to be prepared to fail. He also emphasizes the importance of hard work and persistence, noting that success doesn't come easily. Brooks believes that comedy is a powerful tool for addressing social issues and challenging the status quo. He encourages aspiring comedians to use their voices to make a difference and to never shy away from tackling difficult subjects. In short, Mel Brooks' legacy is one of innovation, fearlessness, and humor. His future contributions will undoubtedly continue to shape the film industry and inspire new generations of comedians and filmmakers. Mel Brooks, the actor and filmmaker, has been entertaining audiences for decades. From his early work in television to his groundbreaking films, he has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. One of his most famous films, Blazing Saddles, is a classic example of his unique comedic style. This satirical western pushed boundaries and poked fun at racism and stereotypes, leaving audiences laughing and thinking at the same time. Another unforgettable film is Young Frankenstein, a hilarious take on the classic monster movie genre. With unforgettable performances and witty humor, this film has become a beloved favorite for many. But Brooks' talents go beyond just filmmaking. He also created the hit TV show Get Smart, which became a cultural phenomenon in the 1960s. This spy comedy series showcased his ability to create memorable characters and hilarious situations. As we reflect on Brooks' impressive career, it's clear that his work has had a lasting impact. His ability to make us laugh while also tackling important social issues is a true testament to his talent. So, what are your thoughts on Mel Brooks' work and legacy? Share them in the comments below, and let's celebrate this classic entertainer together. And don't forget to like and share this post to spread the joy of Mel Brooks' timeless humor. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more content celebrating the creative spirits shaping entertainment.